Good afternoon, everybody. It's a lovely Friday afternoon today, and we've started off in the Hoedspruit Endangered Species Centre here in South Africa, Hoedspruit. And started off with Tammy's little cheetah cubs. Check out these little critters. How adorable are they? I'm sure Tammy's gone for a little bit of a break. I'm sure it's quite a handful taking care of 4 little cheetah cubs. So my name is Kerry Dupree, and I will be your naturalist presenter this afternoon. It's my last day here live at the waterhole for a little bit. So looking forward to see what we're going to find today, what is waiting for us at our different locations. So on our MC team we have Tadiwa, and on our tech side we have John joining us today as well. So just a reminder, folks, that this is a live and interactive experience. You can watch us on our app. If you're watching this on the website, you can also register to ask any questions. Use the QR code on screen now. If you're on Twitter or X, just don't forget to use the hashtag @WildEarth. Or from time to time there will also be a banner with the WhatsApp number as well. So you can also send through those comments on WhatsApp. Join in the chitter-chatter of the day. And let me know if there's any special locations you'd like us to have a look at. And really looking forward to seeing what is ahead for Live at the Waterhole today. So it's been really special. These little cheetah cubs they were a week old on Wednesday, so going on 10 days old. Apparently some of these little cheetah cubs started opening their eyes a day ago already, so we'll try pay close attention and see how many of these cheetah cubs' eyes look like they're open. This little cub that's furthest away from us does look like his eyes could already be open, so very exciting time for these little cheetahs. They are getting their first view of the outside world, and very exciting time. So we're really hoping we're going to be able to follow this family of cheetah. The plan is that these little cheetah cubs will be reintroduced into the wild when they're old enough and able to hunt for themselves and take care of themselves. Very exciting cheetah project that the Hoedspruit Endangered Species Centre is a part of. The DNA of these cheetah will be taken and analyzed to make sure that wherever they are relocated or reintroduced back into the wild, that they are not reintroduced with individuals they might be related to. So very important to keep the genetics as diverse as possible with such endangered predators. Catherine, thank you for watching this afternoon. Sounds like you're listening to the sounds of the bush on a road trip today, so travel safe, and I hope that you're having a fabulous day and getting some good birding in. Penelope Kenyon, thank you for watching this afternoon, Penelope. Yes, these cheetah cubs are just too cute. Fuzzy Dunlop is also joining us today for a Feline Friday. So it's very cool. You can see this little cheetah cub on the left-hand side. Very prominent dark underbellies and a bit lighter on their backs, on their dorsal. It's kind of a bit of a mimicry of a honey badger. So the little cheetah cubs have a bit of a cryptic coloration that is designed to make them almost look like little cheetah or little honey badgers to protect them from predators, because no one wants to mess with a honey badger. So apparently this morning's sunrise safari was very eventful, lots of activity. Amy had some a journey of giraffe that was walking in front of her, and really lovely giraffe sighting with Amy. Apparently Amy also had some amazing elephants that were playing around in the water at a small pan nearby. Maxine also had some incredible sightings of the Juma clan. Sounds like there was lots happening on with Juma clan this morning. So the cubs were basically feeding on an impala carcass that looked like it had probably been stolen from a predator. And then Mr. and Mrs. Nigel came out of the den and caused a bit of havoc by stealing the carcass away from these little cubs. And then June and Gingarika also had a bit of a dominance display fight between the two. So it sounds like it was all in all a bit of a scene from The Lion King with the hyenas today over in the Sabi Sands, all fighting over this carcass. So lots of dominance display, very interesting. So it sounds like there was a lot of excitement on the morning safari. Andrew unfortunately had a little bit of a quiet morning over in Amakala. Yeah, it was a bit of a misty, cold morning in the Eastern Cape for Andrew, but he did have some springbok and apparently showed some shells that were used by the Bushmen probably maybe in a cave, if I'm guessing. So yeah, all around a very eventful and exciting day on the morning safaris today for our Feline Friday. Alrighty folks, we've got some activity over at Stony Point. Let's head over to Cape Town, Stony Point, and see if we get a visual of those little chicks, finally. So we've got our little penguin chicks here at Stony Point. These chicks must be almost just under 2 weeks old already. They hatched about 2 weeks ago, I think. And yeah, it's been quite difficult to get a sighting of them. Oh, have a look. So you can see a little brown or black ball of fluff just on the left hand side of this adult here on the nest. Every now and then see a bit of a beak poking out. So these penguins have been quite good parents, I must say. There's not a moment you come across to Stony Point, this camera here, and don't see the adults sitting on the nest. Oh, have a look. There's a little beak there. Isn't that cute? How adorable. Come on, little penguins. Let's see you. Let's see you. So we do apologize, folks, for the slight shakiness on the camera today. Apparently it is one of those howling, windy days over in Cape Town. I'm very delighted I'm not in Cape Town today. I cannot handle the Cape Town weather. I'm used to cold weather and hot weather, but Cape Town for me is just something very different. You never know if you're hot or you're cold, and if it's a windy day like today, oh gosh. Your clothing and everything is constantly being blown off, and you're still freezing, but you're still cold. So yeah, and I do take my hat off to any of our Cape Townians that are watching today for living in Cape Town. It's definitely not one of my favorite climates to visit. Yeah, I much prefer it, like if it's a hot day, it must be a hot day, or cold day, it can be a cold day. And like today, very, very windy. So these little soft, fluffy penguins, at birth, they're normally covered with this very fuzzy down feathers. That's to keep them warm and waterproof. And these chicks are fully dependent on their parents for warmth and food. So the male and female will actually take turns in caring for the chicks and then going out to hunt for food. And then they'll come back, regurgitate the food for these little chicks on the nest. So they are getting quite big. Hopefully in the next week or so, if we're lucky, we might get a view of the parents off the nest and have a bit of a clearer view of these little penguin chicks, because it's quite difficult to see them in that nest there. There's a perfect little hidden crevice, nice little nesting spot, so other creatures that might nest or live in little holes like this in the rocks. You get obviously rock dussies, lots of rock dussies around Stony Point here. We've seen them quite often. You'll also get snakes, frogs, all kinds of little critters, mice who love to live in very small cracks and crevices and rocks. But yeah, always have to be careful when you're looking in these holes. Even in trees, bats will often go and live in holes and caves. So always be very cautious. Make sure that you have a torch that can shine clearly before you pop your head into the dark holes. Oh, chick is moving. Hello, little chick. I don't know if these chicks have been named yet. They're very cute. I know they're still contemplating the names of Tammy's little cubs, so dying to find out what those names are going to be. So we're only seeing one chick on the left hand side here. So these baby penguins do grow quite quickly. So within the first few weeks, they almost as tall as the adult, so yeah, within their first month or so, still very fluffy, and they do molt, so they'll need to molt those baby feathers of theirs before they can actually swim and be fully buoyant and waterproof. Shame, this adult seems to be a little bit uncomfortable. I think these chicks are starting to get quite big. So normally these penguins will lay 2 to 3 eggs, unlike in the emperor penguins that only lay 1 egg. And the eggs of these penguins, the shells are very hard to protect them from the cold weather here in Cape Town, and they also have a very interesting conical shape which prevents them from rolling out of the nest or off of a cliff if they're nesting on some rocks and cliffs. So the shape makes the eggs just roll around in a circle instead of rolling away and cracking somewhere. It is quite common.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
Chidzana na tsima ra ntumbuluko Dzovukazi ya xitsundzuxo hosi ya rhumela.
How cool is this?
So the juvenile's plumage is often very smooth and bluish grey to black colour. So they'll generally start to, between 2 to 4 months they'll fledge, and then between 12 to 22 months, that is when they molt into their full adult colours. But normally they start changing at about 2 to 4 months, but they'll still have a bit of a drab, dull grey colour. Oh, we've got lots of crickets coming around here, just to the right hand side of the nest. Lots of tourists come and lots of visitors do come to these beaches here in Stony Point and in Simonstown to see these penguins. So although these penguins cannot fly, it's incredible how well adapted those little wings of theirs have become flippers. So instead of having the ability to fly, they now have this very strong ability to swim. So very strong swimmers, and this adapts them to be able to feed on fish. So they'll go out hunting, feed on very small little fish. So the other adult will be out hunting at the moment, come back, regurgitate food for the young, and then they'll normally swap positions. So then whichever parent had been sitting on the nest all morning will then go out for some fishing. So it's very important, the bonding that the parents spend with these little chicks. They need to be able to imprint on each other and recognize the adult's call about hunting. Alrighty, why don't we head across to Tembe, folks, and see what has come down to the watering hole. So welcome to Tembe Elephant Park, everybody, also in South Africa, Maputoland. We have some lovely big elephant bulls down at the watering hole. It looks like very similar bulls that were here yesterday. So this elephant bull that's in the middle, I think he was here yesterday. I remember his very long tusks, right hand side much longer than the left. And I'm sure if we see his tusks closer up just now, see they're very sharp. So it could be a bit of a bachelor group or a boy gang that are hanging out together. Oh, definitely on the left here. Check out this boy, he's also got very sharp tusks. And there's two young bulls also having a bit of a play fighting session in the back there. So thank you, Margaret Jenkins, for your comment on the weather in Cape Town. So it sounds like you've been having very gorgeous weather in Cape Town for a change. Apparently it's been very wonderful summer days. We did have a few cold, windy days on the weekend, but yeah, nice to hear that you've been having some good weather in Cape Town and the weather hasn't been a complete a letdown. So may the good weather in Cape Town continue. So we have a bit of a quiet moment just to listen to these elephant bulls. I think there's two bulls at the back there that are having a bit of a scuffle. Come on, Edward, what are you up to? See this elephant bull on the right, closest to the water. A very tatty ear. I think we definitely did see him yesterday. I recognize that tatty as well. He's got his foot up. He's kind of in a bit of an indecisive mood as the other two bulls test each other's patience at the back there. Having a bit of a territorial fight. It's not too aggressive. It's more just like a play fight, I think I would say. These elephants are coming to these smaller puddles, probably a lot of nutrient-rich soil there. Or maybe they just want to have a nice mud bath with some dirty water. Cover their skin, protect them from the sunshine a little bit. What's this bot going to do? Come from having a drink, nice clean drink of water. Now they've decided to have a mud bath and cover themselves in this filthy water. But yeah, it does help to protect their skin, or elephants just deciding to have an elephant spa day. Love listening to the sounds of those sombre green birds. Just enjoy the sound of those elephants splashing away. Seems like there's a bit of a standoff. The bigger bull that has just approached from behind, he wants to come and use the exact same puddles. It's amazing how animals can be so stubborn. There's so many watering holes or little puddles around this dam that would be perfect for a mud bath, but nope, these two bulls have to go to the exact same place. Let's see what's going to happen. Maybe there'll be a bit of a fight taking place here between these two bulls. Look at these guys. Must be because there's more minerals, or they're just being a little bit stubborn and want to have a bath in the exact same spot. Isn't this elephant bull's tusks impressive? It's got a really big tusk on the left, right-hand side, smaller tusk on the left. What an impressive specimen. We've got a question from Anais is asking about Annalise, is asking about, do elephants sometimes get insects stuck in their trunk? So yes, sometimes elephants can get insects stuck up in their trunks, though it's not very common and they can very easily blow them out. It's just like with us humans. If you get something stuck in your nose, just go and have a good blow, hopefully not anywhere near any other people. But yeah, their trunks are incredibly sensitive, lots of muscles in their trunks. Sometimes bugs or flies can crawl inside their trunk all while feeding. But the elephants will just blow very forcefully or shake their trunk in order to remove any foreign objects. So elephants' trunks are often very near to the ground while drinking, feeding, and as we saw, even while mud bathing. So this can happen quite a bit. Those trunks of theirs can have about 40,000 different muscles, so they're very highly dexterous, very aware of any irritation within their trunk that will not be tolerated for a very long period. So again, insects can get up into their trunks, but elephants will remove them very quickly.
Experience the magic of the wild on an unforgettable 4-night safari at Mabula Nature Reserve. Hosted by the one and only Stephen Falconbridge. With Steve as your private guide, you'll gain incredible insights into Africa's wildlife, leaving with knowledge and memories to last a lifetime. Get hands-on with conservation, track elusive cheetahs, and even take to the skies on a hot air balloon ride. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. Join the Wild Earth YouTube superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube superfan community today.
My full name is Mpho Muthusi Tikani. I grew up in Soweto. My first animal that I filmed said to dog. Okay, no, it's my first animal that I filmed, I think it was an impala. Best sighting ever, I would say it was actually this year, 2024. But it was at this Cedric when we had Muluwati and TP on a warthog kill. I think we have to cut it.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. We'll be
And you pretend like you're a salesman, eh?
Got no idea what's going on this reserve.
Expecting the unexpected.
Are we stuck down there?
What am I trying to do?
So we have another giant of Mabula.
That was incredible.
This is unbelievable.
It's going to be a spectacular afternoon.
Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Wild Earth Travel's newsletter is your passport to a magical journey. Explore exclusive travel options featuring special offers at stunning Wild Earth locations and all hosted by your favorite presenters. Don't miss out. Head over to our website and subscribe to the Wild Earth Travel newsletter today and stay in the know on all our unforgettable adventures. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Elephants is through infrasonic communication. They're absorbing a lot of the communication through their feet, through the ground. So when we hear elephants vocalizing, it's kind of only a very small portion of the part of communication they have. Again, it's a lot of body language too. So depending on the ear flapping, how are they holding their heads? Often with elephants, if they're aggressive to one another, they'll hold their heads up, hold their ears out. It can be quite aggressive. Head shaking is also a sign of aggression as well, but it's also a bit of a like, hey, you stay there, go back, don't come anywhere near me. And of course the vocalizations that we can hear as well, but a lot of the communication going on between these elephant bulls, which you can see they are definitely communicating now, we cannot hear. A lot of science has been done and a lot of research in order to understand the communication in these animals. So this elephant bull, you can see he's probably left side dominant. While feeding this elephant, you can see his left tusk is much shorter. It's probably broken off at some stage because yeah, his right tusk is definitely much longer. It doesn't look as well used as the left hand side. So each different elephant is left or right side dominant. And we actually had a really crazy sighting yesterday of a female elephant that looked like she had a Dracula fang. So she had a tooth that went, a tusk that went all the way back underneath her jaw, which is rather strange. I'm sure this big boy is happy to have the watering hole, or this little puddle, this little mud puddle all to himself. Again, they'll be using most of this mud to coat their skin to protect it from the sun and insects, but sometimes they will be drinking some of this water as well, because this water will be mineral rich, lots of minerals and salts in the soil here in Tembe Elephant Park. And the elephants that's really what they need in order to sustain their bodies. Oh, shame. Look at this picture. He's happy to be here. So are we. Again, elephant's this tattered ear here. It could have been caused by an injury or while fighting. Sometimes these big bulls, while fighting, they can also injure themselves or injure each other. Or they can also very easily be caught on a branch. Is he drinking? Is he not drinking? Looks like he's just contemplating life a bit. He's claiming his spot. He's won over this little mud puddle. He doesn't seem to be doing too much with it though. Look at him. What is he doing with his trunk? So watching this elephant bull reminds me of my time in Central African Republic, in Sangabai, watching those elephants coming into this bai. So bai in forest terms is kind of like a pan. We'd refer to it as a pan in Southern Africa. So in the forest, in the jungle of West Africa, you get these bais, which are clearings, openings in the forest where there's salts, minerals and water. And Sangabai is a very famous elephant bai. Forest elephants obviously a bit more nocturnal than diurnal, so it's quite difficult to see them during the day. But in this Sangabai is an area where forest elephants come in abundance. I think some of the highest numbers were up to 300 forest elephants all together in this one area. And every different part of this bai, in Sangabai, has different color mud. So every single little elephant that comes through that is mud bath, they all look different, like a tapestry or pour over painting. This elephant is having the best time. So we've got a question from Kaz. Kaz is asking, are tusks a part of elephant's bone structure? So to answer your question, Kaz, yes. So elephants' tusks are a part of their bone structure, but more specifically, they're actually enlarged in sizes. So teeth made of dentine, very hard, dense, bony tissue. The tusks from the upper jaw, just like from your front teeth that grow from your gums. So that's why elephants' closest relatives are the hyraxes, rock hyraxes or rock dassies, and they have very similar dental formation. So these rock dassies also have very prominent little incisors, very sharp, very long, and that helps them to be able to feed very quickly, to cut off their food and feed at a very rapid pace so that they don't have to expose themselves to the elements where they could be eaten by predators. It's incredible how you get every single elephant is also unique and different in their tusk structure too. So it's a perfect way for identifying these elephants. So when you're trying to identify different elephants, you'll use the structure of their tusks. The length, is one shorter than the other? Are they arching out? Are they going in? Like that female yesterday with her very unusual Dracula fang. And of course their ears. So you use their ears as a way of identifying them. So this elephant is very easily identifiable. As we saw, he's got a much longer tusk on the right hand side as opposed to the left, and then he's got this very big tear at the bottom of his ears. So we have another question from Picasso. So Picasso is asking about whose tusks / horns are most sought after on the black market. Is it elephant or is it rhino? So both elephant tusks and rhino horns are tragically sought after on the black market. But I think I would have to say rhino horn is probably often more valuable per kilogram than elephant ivory if you had to compare the two. So rhino horn, and it's very unfortunate because these are all if you think of it, it's just yeah, so rhino horns are actually made of keratin, so it's like a hair fingernail type substance. So yeah, it doesn't actually have any actual medicinal uses, or it doesn't have any actual value, but because humans have put a monetary value on it, that's where it has now become value. So yeah, the rhino horns are sought after in a lot of cultures and traditional medicine, despite no scientific basis as a status symbol. On the black market, on average, the rhino horn can fetch up to $60,000, $60,000 to $100,000 per kilogram, whereas elephant tusk typically can go for about $1,000 to $3,000 per kilogram. So yeah, $60,000 to $100,000 as opposed to $1,000 to $3,000 for elephant tusks. So rhinos would definitely be more valuable there. So yeah, as we mentioned, rhino horn is made out of tusk keratin, almost like fingernails and hair, whereas elephant tusks are dentine, just like bone or tissue. Elephant tusks will also be carved for ornaments, jewelry, especially in the Asian market. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question there, Picasso. It's such a lovely afternoon. This elephant is painting himself with all kinds of different mud. So just a reminder, folks, I've just got a notification here about eBird, or Colonel Lab, or Colonel University does have their big birding day tomorrow. I won't be with you on live at the waterhole tomorrow, so unfortunately I won't be doing any birding. But if anyone does have a bit of free time, the more birds recorded, the more numbers go towards our country total. So last year I was eBirding the whole day. I think we eBirded for 9.5 hours. I was in Zimbabwe. And they take the total of all these birds that have been counted and recorded to see which country has recorded the most amount of birds. I can't remember who won last year, but I know most years Australia does really well. So if you would like to join in this big birding challenge, big birding day for tomorrow, you just head over to your app store, down the eBirding app, and get birding. Remember to submit your list before tomorrow midnight. That list will then need to go towards the total count of birds for your country. So if you'd like to do some birding for your country, please don't forget, tomorrow 10th of May is a big e-birding day. Yeah, so lovely to do some birding for tomorrow.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
ears, and in between their legs. That's where their glands are, the best places to cool themselves down. Sounds like we've got a male impala vocalizing as rutting season approaches for these male impala. So peaceful watching these elephants. So we've got a good question. Hello, Raw. Raw has sent a really good question through. Good afternoon. So he's interested to know how far they believe elephant rumbles can go. So yes, Raw, there has been a lot of research into elephant communication recently. I was speaking about Sangabai just now, and there is a project there called the Elephant Listening Project, where they've got a lot of infrasonic listening devices recording around that bai constantly, and they've recorded, I think, over 3,000 different calls and communications that these elephants make while coming into the bai over the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, it's incredible how much communication we cannot hear. So these calls, the infrasonic calls, the airborne calls these elephants make can travel for up to 8 to 10 kilometers, or about 5 to 6 miles, depending on the environmental conditions like wind and forest. So yeah, it's incredible, these seismic ground vibrations that rumble. It does pick up over quite a long distance on the very sensitive feet of these elephants. We're talking about those soft pads of the elephants that absorb these seismic murmurations and vibrations under the ground. That's how elephants are so in tuned with the earth, and also picking up on if storm and rain is coming. So some researchers have estimated that elephants can pick up some of these I'd say more natural seismic vibrations from storms and thunder for up to 30 kilometers in ideal conditions, if it's flat open areas. So yeah, elephants do use these rumbles for communication about mating, danger, any coordination, and even for reunions, to reunite with one another. So yeah, very interesting research being done there about elephants and communication in elephants. So yeah, it's quite interesting. You see these elephants we have here. Whoop. So let's see this typical head shake of this elephant bull. Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit of a warning, or sometimes if they've just got a little bit too much energy in their day, especially if they're in musk, these elephant bulls will give a typical head shake. So these elephants that are here in this open area, they can be heard by many other elephants in the area. Alrighty, so we have some giraffe at Founders apparently, so let's head over to our giraffe and see what they're up to at Founders in the Eastern Cape, South Africa. Alrighty, so it looks like we have some giraffe that have arrived at Founders Lodge. So we've had some rhino sightings recently also here at Founders coming down. We were hoping for a rhino mud bath, but we'll keep hoping the rhinos maybe come down later. So we've got one big giraffe bull in the middle, very nice dark specimen, and two females on either side of him. So they're hanging out at this watering hole. You can see it's a bit dry here in the Eastern Cape. I'm sure these giraffe have to move quite some distance to find some acacia trees to feed on in these open areas in the Eastern Cape. Oh, check at this bull. Isn't he impressive? Such nice dark spots, dark coloration. I know a lot of people think that only males can be dark, and yes, in most cases the darker individuals are the males, but you can get dark females as well. When giraffe age, this does also make their skin a lot darker, so it's not just males that are very dark or have this dark prominent color. And just like us humans with our fingerprints and zebra with their unique stripes, all giraffe are very unique in their spots and patterns. So each and every giraffe is very unique in his pattern and pattern formation that he has. I'm having a look at this female on the right hand side. Shame, she looks like quite an old girl. Lifespan of a giraffe in the wild is about 10 to 12, maybe 13 years of age. In captivity they might live a little bit longer, but yeah, shame, this female looks a little bit sunken in. You can see in her shoulder there a little bit sunken in, and as well on her hips. She's looking a little bit old. She might be, yeah, in her last few years. So Deb Davis, thank you for your comment. Yes, just a reminder about the Colonel e-birding, big birding day tomorrow. If you are a birder and want to contribute towards citizen science, yeah, great way would be to participate in any birding tomorrow. I'll probably do some birding here in Johannesburg in my garden if I have some time, add a few birds to the list. Yeah, just to help contribute. Every number does make a difference. Yeah, so see this girl, she's yeah, she looks a bit sunken in. She's looks like she's aging a little bit. They seem very relaxed, these giraffe. See the male's ossicones completely bald. As the female's ossicones are nice and fluffy, so it's quite cool to see the male and female so close together here. So you can see the difference. Male's very much taller, very thick neck, very muscular. This looks like a very impressive male. So I've got some figures here for the recent countries that have won the Global Big Birding Day. Apparently in 2024, Colombia. So Colombia seems to be doing very well. So Colombia won in 2024 with 7,800 bird species that were recorded, and they also won in 2023 with just over 2,000 bird species recorded. So Colombia is a country that has quite a high number of birds, so we have to try to beat Colombia from last year. So hopefully 2025, either South Africa, or I know Australia normally does quite well in this big birding challenge. So we have to beat 7,800 bird species. So probably those Amazonian birds or birds of paradise is what pushes Colombia over the limit. There's lots of incredible birds. What are these giraffe up to? So they're just standing, probably ruminating, regurgitating their food. Another female here. You can see by her very small ossicones, very fluffy. So these, what will be happening now with this ruminating system with the giraffe, so they have a chambered stomach, so just like cows and antelope, so they have a 4-chambered stomach. They chew the cud and they actually swallow their food and regurgitate their food in order to get as much nutrients and moisture out of their food as possible. So they'll regurgitate their semi-digested food, also known as cud, and then chew it for as long as they can, just like with kudu. So kudu often regurgitate their food as well. So lots of antelope are ruminants, and then after they've re-swallowed and re-chewed their food, it then passes through the rest of their stomach and completes a full digestive system. It's also, if you think of giraffe, they feed on very fibrous and hardy vegetation. like acacia leaves. And these leaves sometimes can be quite tough and fibrous, so it helps to break down their food so that it's easier to digest. This looks like a young male giraffe. Lovely to see so many giraffe here over in Founders. Oop, I think we've got something at the watering hole. Maybe it's a warthog or a rhino. Hello, little warthog. Looks like we've got some little warthogs coming down. Hopefully they give us a bit of a display and have a mud bath. Oh, baboon. My goodness. I don't see baboon here very often. Let's have a look at these baboons in the Eastern Cape. Very thick, dark fur. Probably to protect them from that very strong wind and cold weather. Big male baboon. Probably a scout looking for a new area to bring his troop. Very cool. So Julian Thomas, I'm guessing you're definitely going to be out and about tomorrow, birding away. Yeah, so all the best with your birding for tomorrow, Julian Thomas. Yeah, I remember very much last year Zimbabwe we birded. We had quite a busy birding day. I think we got just under 200 species in Wangi. We were birding just outside of the national park. And of course we were driving, walking, watching, sitting at hides, sitting at watering holes in front of Safari Lodge there in Wangi. So yeah, lots of birding. It was a very busy day. Yeah, no rest for the wicked on that birding day. So yeah, I know there'll be lots of birders, lots of twitchers out there enjoying the birding day tomorrow. Let's watch these warthogs as they have a bit of a mud wallow, a warthog spa. It's quite unusual. The female warthog is grooming the other warthog. That's a female on the left and a young male on the right. Oh, we have a blazebok just behind crossing. Lovely to see so many animals today at Founders. How crazy. Lots of wildlife. Would be cool to see some springbok as well.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart. South Africa's wild places are closer than you think because Federal Airlines brings them to you. From the calm of our FedAir lounge to the smooth boarding of our trusted fleet, we take care of the journey so you can enjoy the adventure. Our flights go beyond the ordinary, connecting you to South Africa's most remote and extraordinary locations. Federal Airlines, your gateway to the South African wild.
My full name is Mpho Tikani. Best part of my job is coming to see nature. Worst part of my job is logging. That's the worst thing ever because you have to log amount of footage. You sit in front of that computer and yeah, you think of deleting the footage, but no, they need the footage. If I want a camel, probably a soccer player. I know some people don't believe me, but I'm very good, and I'm very fast.
And off they go. So it looks like love is in the air with these two warthogs. This female warthog seems to be getting quite snuggly with the male there. She's rubbing on him quite a bit and yeah, seeking his affection as the baboons roam around our watering hole. Let's have a look at that big tail. So with the Chakma baboons, they have that arched tail of theirs. There's a few different theories of why they've got this tail. So in the males, they use their tail as a sign of dominance. Obviously with all primates, their tails are very good for balance, and with the female Chakma baboon, she'll often carry her little baby on her back, so the baby will use the tail as a bit of a backrest or to secure him on her back there. Let's watch our warthogs having a wallow, enjoying their warthog spa. This is a lovely setting. So here's a young male warthog, still has quite a bit of growing to do. Those tusks are still quite small. Trying to see, it looks like he might have a scar on his bottom there. Could have been a little scar left by a predator, or something's given them a fright. Warthogs have to be quite careful while coming down to drink, because if there's any lion or leopard in the area, it's a very good opportunity for them to make a kill while the warthogs are wallowing in the mud, making a lot of noise, maybe not paying as much attention. What do you see, girl? See, she's giving a sniff, smelling. She's got her nose up in the air, she's smelling away. What does she see? Very curious. Again, we've been chatting a lot the last few days about animals and their body language. I know Spas Eenkov asked yesterday about body language in elephants, but some of these body languages, it takes years and years of following and observing wildlife to really understand and interpret every different kind of body language. But yeah, it's just always a learning game when you're out in the bush. So much to learn, we never stop learning. So yeah, and every day we're learning new things about animals, and scientists are discovering new specimens and new species and new creatures and new behaviors. So yeah, it's kind of what's really exciting about being able to work in the bush, is you will never know everything, and we learn so much every day. Like even recently, this last week, again, our sightings with our waterbuck and crocodiles and hippo, and interacting with crocodiles, very strange to me. Yeah, and even with Tammy giving birth to her cubs so far apart. She gave birth to her last little cub 9 hours later, which is not a common thing. Normally predators will give birth within a few hours. So yeah, we learn so much every day. So this female giraffe is just enjoying the sunshine as she gets her coat groomed by a little oxpecker on her bottom there. See, he's combing his beak through her fur, looking for any parasites, any ticks. She looks very lazy today. She's having a lazy Friday afternoon, this female giraffe. So gestation period for a giraffe is about 15 months. It's quite a long time to be pregnant. When the female giraffe gives birth to her little one, it experiences a bit of bungee jumping with no strings attached, unfortunately. So yeah, they do have quite a drop, these little giraffe, to the ground when they're born. A giraffe will give birth standing up, but that drop to the ground helps to kind of give them their first breath, help them to take their first breath wake them up a little bit as well. So instead of a slap on the back, these poor little giraffe have to drop from quite a few meters in order to receive their first breath of life. See this young bull. See, his ossicones don't look too straight. They're kind of curving inwards. So again, difference between the male and the female ossicones is the males curve inwards quite a bit, whereas the females generally tend to be straight up. So here in the Eastern Cape, these giraffe, it's quite open for giraffe. I'm surprised we've got so many giraffe here, but giraffe in the Eastern Cape primarily feed on a variety of browse species, mostly focusing on the woody shrubby trees that we can see them feeding on here. Spend a lot of time in thickets and savannas, as well as the semi-arid bushveld habitat. So again, some of the key species that these giraffe will feed on here in the Eastern Cape is, as in most areas, acacias, so lots of Vachellias and senegalensis out there, or Vachellia carew, so the sweet thorns, as well as those nutritious pods of the Vachellias, very good for these giraffe. Albizzias are also fed on in the Eastern Cape, as well as the Sericea species, so rus. So yeah, they'll feed on those rus leaves and the fruit. Ziziphus macronata is also fed on, or the buffalo thorn is also fed on by the giraffe. So I was just having a look to see if there's enough food for these giraffe in the Eastern Cape. It looks like they have more than enough food to feed on. So Kaz, thank you for your comments. Apparently Kaz has downloaded the app and is ready for her birding tomorrow. So if you're just joining us, folks, I was reminding everyone that tomorrow is the big birding day, the eBird Big Birding Day. So if you would like to play your part and help contribute towards citizen science and birding, and maybe help South Africa to win the birding day tomorrow, or whichever country you're in, please go to the eBird app. You can download it on your app store. Download the app, and it's got a checklist there. There's some lists that you can create your own checklist. Upload your list for tomorrow. Make sure you upload it before midnight in order to help contribute towards the big birding day tomorrow. So thank you, Kaz from Queensland, Australia, for already having your app ready and contributing towards the big birding day tomorrow. Again, these giraffe are just chilling, standing, regurgitating some food, maybe feeding around this watering hole. Quite a nice little journey of giraffes. Again, giraffes are quite nomadic. Right, folks, well, why don't we check and see what is happening at some of our other locations. Maybe we'll go and see Tau today. We haven't been over to Tau over in Madikwe, and see what's at the watering hole. Alrighty. Oh, and we have our crocodile. So have a look here. So not only do we have our zebras, we've got our zebra on the bank there, but we have our crocodile that's out of the water, and looks like some teals could be the Cape teal or red-billed teal. Let's have a look. What teals do we have there? Crocodile looks like he's just come out of the water, so that's why he's quite light in color. This is the exact same spot we had the sighting the other day of the waterbuck that came down to the water's edge and was being very curious of the crocodile that was at the water's edge. I wasn't sure what was wrong with that female waterbuck. She got very close to this crocodile, almost touched him as well. But yeah, lovely to see the crocodile out and about, out of the water. So it looks like we've got those teals are red-billed teals. Yeah, just because of distribution, and also Cape teals are obviously restricted to different areas. Yeah, so, and they're much smaller as well, so lovely to see some red-billed teals. We did see them flying into the watering hole yesterday, but we didn't actually get a visual of them. But we'll appreciate our little crocodile friends. This is the Nile crocodile. It's quite a big specimen.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
Every guide in Africa has been on an endless quest for the ultimate bush wear. Until now, Rugged Wear has a huge range of amazing bush gear for every wild situation. In the midday heat, those chilly winter mornings, in the storms of summer. Rugged Wear has the bush kit for every wild occasion. Locally made in South Africa, crafted with precision, stitched with quality.
Step into the heart of Africa from the comfort of your home.
Female leopard tracks over here.
Join our expert guides for a live 3-hour safari where every moment is real, unscripted, and unforgettable. Ask questions.
Animals rely on their senses.
Share your thoughts and be part of the experience as we explore together. Safari Live.
Mouth, maybe a stick or a log, because if you can open that gula flap, water will rush into their throat and they'll actually have to release you, because then they'll start to drown. I wonder if this is our very strange crocodile loving female waterbuck. She looks like she is having a bit of a nap. Love these shabby waterbuck, they are beautiful. Got that thick, shabby, almost wool-like coat, because it's to protect them from the cold weather, cold environment down close to the water. And of course they do have quite a terrible smell, these waterbuck. So they've got almost like a duck oil preening gland liquid, almost the same as ducks do. So this liquid that is on their skin to keep their coat waterproof, because they spend a lot of time in very reeded, thick, muddy, watery areas. yeah, it's been lovely seeing so much game, so much wildlife down here at Tau. There's been waterbuck and zebra almost every single day. We're lucky to see some wildebeest. I think we had a herd of wildebeest yesterday and the day before. So yeah, lovely to see lots of wildebeest. They're all really enjoying this lush green grass. Oop, looks like we've got some, could be our white-faced whistling ducks also down on the water there on the little muddy island. Oh, what do we have here? Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have Egyptian geese, yes, but we do have our 2 shelled ducks. I've been talking about these shelled ducks. It's awesome to see the shelled ducks have come back. So you can see the male and female shelled duck. One has a grey head and one has a black head. So they are resident and nomadic through most of their region. They do also hang out in estuaries, rivers, and very arid areas. I've seen my first time seeing these shelled ducks was actually in Namibia. Yeah. So the male is the one with the grey head, and the female is the one with the very whitish face. So have a look. The female's on the left, male is on the right. It's quite strange. Normally the males in any duck species are a lot more beautiful than the female. So let's play the call of these shelled ducks and hear what they sound like, because it is quite a treat to see these ducks here today. We haven't seen them for quite a while. Oops, have a look, they've got their bottoms in the air, so they're also busy feeding. They mostly feed on plant material and vegetation as well. So these shelled ducks can be very easily confused with Egyptian geese, although they are a little bit larger with those very brown blotches. So Egyptian geese are quite a bit bigger than these shelled ducks, obviously classified as a goose. And then Egyptian geese are less tawny, so it's quite nice here. You can see the difference, so less tawny. And also Egyptian geese have that black dot in the middle of their chest, so they also have slightly different colorations, and their heads do look quite different, but they can be easily confused. So it's quite interesting that call of the shelled ducks does sound very similar to the grey-crowned cranes. Yeah, so very similar call. I'm sure if you might recall having heard these shelled ducks before. Often when they're flying, this is the vocalization that they make. Very cool sighting here. I'm actually getting excited for the birding day tomorrow. I think I might have to go and do a bit of birding in some areas close by. So I've got Little Falls Nature Reserve is just up on the mountain here, and sometimes we get some very good birds up in the mountains there. So I might have to go take myself for a bit of a birding adventure for the big birding day tomorrow. So Andre is asking about if any of the big cats come down to this watering hole to hunt the birds. So Andre, yeah, I have had on a few occasions, we've had lions. Oop, what bird do we have here? So we have lions and cheetah come down to this area to hunt. So it looks like we've got could be a firefinch of some sort. Let's have a look in our birding app. We've got a little LBJ here. Could be a little firefinch. What little finch are you? So he's completely brown with looks like a black eye stripe. Let's see, finch. It's definitely a finch of some sort. What kind of finch are you? Yeah, if any of our viewers have any idea on this little, this could be could be a wax bill as well, actually, because I'm not getting anything for finches. Could be a wax bill. Let's have a look. What wax bill are you? You had a black eye stripe. Looks like black or red eye stripe. Very good spotting by our Zoomy here, so thank you very much for that really awesome little bird. What could it be? A little finch. Looked like a wax bill of some sort. Where has he gone to? Definitely wasn't the common. Could have been a common wax bill. Let's have a look. Is it a common wax bill? Nope, doesn't occur. So I've got a lot of birds for northern and eastern Africa, so it's definitely not a common wax bill. That'll be quite a cool little bird lifer if we can manage to identify him. So if any of our viewers have any idea what little wax bill we've just seen there, please feel free to send through. So Julian Thomas is saying it is a common wax bill. Let's have a look. So my common wax bill that I have here is in West Africa. So, but I'm going to use the Newman's Birding app and see. Yeah, it could be just my app is outdated. And we have some white-faced whistling ducks, also hiding themselves from the sunshine. Or maybe from the wind. So thank you. So thank you very much, Julian Thomas. Apparently it is a common wax bill. I didn't see much, yeah, there's definitely quite a lot of brown, but it could be a juvenile. So I'm just having a look at the different colors. So again, often with these birds, you must definitely look through and see which colorations, because I've got some of the common wax bills that I know of in West Africa have orange eye stripes, but I'm having a look for Southern Africa. They do have a bit of a red eye stripe. So very cool little common wax bill we saw down there. Nice little bird lifer to add to the list. So thank you for helping with the ID here. So Sean was asking about any predators that might come down to feed, or cats that come down to feed on the birds. Hang on, I've got this question. So Sean is asking, is there any animals that the big cats don't eat? So Sean, to answer your question there, each different predator is accustomed to a different prey species. Oh, we've got a red-knobbed coot here also feeding. So Sean, a lot of the predators when they're young, they will take a chance to feed on birds like spur fowls, guinea fowl, when they're learning to hunt. So like our leopard or cheetah, they'll take down smaller prey, and as they get bigger, then they're accustomed to the specific prey type that they're able to hunt. So like cheetah will hunt medium-sized prey, antelope. Normally in a lot of areas they hunt a lot of springbok, blesbok, impala. I mean, Mabula is a bit of an exception, but I know they've those two cheetah boys have taken down young eland and young giraffe in Mabula, but it's quite unusual for cheetah to take down such large prey. Oh, a crocodile's moving. And then lions will take down bigger prey like buffalo, even in some areas young elephants and young giraffe. Leopard again are also known for taking down smaller prey, duiker, impala, waterbuck in some cases, and then wild dog are known for taking down larger size antelopes, but not so mostly kudu. So kudu is the most prime food source for your wild dogs, impala, and then in some areas, if the pack sizes are large enough, wild dogs can even take down a buffalo. But again, it all depends on what the size of the predator is. That will determine the prey that they're able to hunt. So have a look at this crocodile. You can see his gula flap inside his mouth there that I spoke about, and that's what prevents him from drowning underwater, and the water going into his throat, and what helps him to be able to hold on to his prey without worrying about drowning. Where are other crocodiles? I Alex, thanks for your comment about cats hunting birds on water. So yeah, Alex, I would say the success rate is quite low, but just like we had with our warthogs, if there's unsuspecting prey, so crocodiles were more likely to be able to catch birds from the water. In very rare cases, I'm sure predators have managed to catch birds on the water's edge if they are cunning enough. Again, all predators, all animals, all predators and cats, they will be opportunistic. So if they have an easy opportunity to get an easy meal, they'll definitely take the chance. Oh, looks like our crocodiles moved into the water. So yeah, some cats will try to hunt birds on the water's edge. Crocodiles will hunt birds from time to time as well. So yeah, thank you so much for that comment there. So Julian Thomas, yes, nice to see the red-billed teals and those coots. Very cool sighting. So yeah, Tau has been a great birding spot today. I mean, the Egyptian geese and the blacksmith lapwings are quite a common species to see here, but to see the coots, the teals, the shelved ducks and the white-faced whistling ducks, very cool bird sightings here today over at Tau Lodge in Madukwe. And thank you very much for the assistance on the bird ID. Oh, on our common waxbill. Very, very cool. So 5 really awesome bird sightings all at one location.
Join me, Andrew Wistenholm, for an indescribable 6-night stay in the beautiful Albany of the Eastern Cape at Amakhala Game Reserve. Now, this trip is going to be action-packed with a lot of storytelling, adventure, as well as the opportunity to make everlasting memories. We'll be exploring the best of Amakhala by staying at 2 luxury lodges, which will be the perfect blend of comfort as well as wilderness. Book your spot today, and let's get ready to explore the wild beauty of Amakhala.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
My name is Takudzwa Panda Msesani. My scariest moment is when it happened twice. The other time I was with Cedric and the other time I was with Steve. And all those times, it was a black mamba. My favorite meal in camp is gonna be burger and chips.
Every month, something wild lands in your inbox. From rare sightings and behind-the-scenes secrets to expert stories, seasonal changes, and exclusive travel opportunities, the Wild Earth Journal is your free monthly mailer, packed with the magic of the wild straight from the field. It's fun, it's free, it's full of surprises. Sign up now on the Wild Earth website.
Photo here, have a look. We've got 4 different species: waterbuck, impala, zebra, and elephant, all in one shot. So that's also what I love about Old Donyo. So Old Donyo, the other day, we had an incredible sighting of 2 different male wider species. Yeah, it was incredible to see 2 different wider species, all in one place. So yeah, lovely sightings. You also get those wattled starlings coming down. If you can see them in breeding season, that's also a very special sighting to see those wattled starlings. So the wider species we saw the other day at Old Donyo was the Which wider did we see? Sorry, I'm just trying to have a look at these wider. So I know we saw the shaft-tailed wider, and then there was a blue wider species that we saw, which was, oh, this blue steel wider. So incredible to see two different male wider species in breeding plumage over at El Doño in the same shot. So yeah, very, very special sighting that day for sure. I did not too familiar on the Kenyan bird, so I did have to get a bit of help and assistance on the ID. They've managed to get the shaft-tailed wider, but the steel blue wider, that's completely new species I haven't seen. So yeah, incredible birding at these 3 locations. But sometimes we get surprised with interesting birds at other locations too, but definitely say these 3 are my top. Look at these zebra on the right hand side. They seem very relaxed, resting their heads up on the other zebra, just chilling, enjoying their Friday afternoon. And then every now and then you see a little waterbuck head flicking an ear here and there, like, whoa, there's a waterbuck there. So yeah, it's crazy to think that these waterbuck are almost disappearing in this grass here, whereas in the dry season this area is a barren, completely barren land, just rocks and sand, whereas now the waterbuck are getting lost in the grass here. So it must have mean they had quite decent rainfall over in Madikwe. Lots of rain helped to rejuvenate all of this grass. Again, we have 3 species all in the same photo here. Had zebra, impala, waterbuck, and our elephant bull is also very calmly feeding on the grass. Hopefully he'll come down to the water for a drink. So Diane from Cape Town, so Diane's asking about the waterbuck and their skin, their terrible taste. So Diane, I have seen lion eating waterbuck. They will, if they're hungry and they have an opportunistic, so again, a lot of these predators are opportunistic. So if they get an easy meal that happens to be right in front of them, they're not going to turn it down. So lions can kill waterbuck. I know more commonly the predator that kills waterbuck is leopard, because leopard also spend a lot of time in big trees down close to the water's edge or on rivers. But yeah, it's quite a distasteful odor to waterbuck, so it's not a prized meal. Same as how leopard, they will kill and eat baboons. It's not their favorite meal, but if they're hungry, sometimes you have to eat whatever's available, whatever you're able to catch. Because remember, if say for example a leopard or a lioness that's on her own, say she's been hunting and missed a few kills and depleted her energy source, she's then going to become very desperate and kill and eat whatever comes by next. So yeah, lions will sometimes even feed on tortoises. I know lions like to eat tortoises, or if they get a chance, porcupine, although porcupine can cause quite a bit of damage to a lion. They even blind them. I know there was a video in Kruger recently of a family of porcupine on the road. So a male and a female with a tiny little one, and there was a leopard trying to get at the baby porcupine. I think the porcupine won in the end. The male and female kept erecting their quills and putting them into the leopard, so they were very well coordinated with trying to protect this little baby porcupine, and I think the leopard gave up in the end. So yeah, again, when predators are hungry, whatever comes first, whatever easy meal they can get, they do take a chance. So Mercedes Bean apparently is not an avid birder, but does enjoy watching birds from your window. So yes, and not everyone has to be birders, and once the birding bug bites you, it is something that is quite difficult to get rid of. So I don't blame you for not being a birder. We all have our interests and things we enjoy, just like this elephant is enjoying feeding on the grass right now. And as we spoke about earlier, I spoke about different areas where elephants mud wallow. So you can see this elephant, he obviously had a mud wallow in some very dark red soil, and then went and had a sand bath afterwards, coated himself in some nice light grey sand. So the elephants, times will start to become tough for these elephants. It's a very easy life for elephants at the moment with all this grass everywhere for them to feed on. But as the dry season approaches and there's less and less green grass around, they start feeding more on the leaves on the trees. And then as we head towards the end of the dry season, before the rains come, unfortunately these elephants do start stripping a lot of the bark off of trees too. So we had quite an interesting question earlier in the week about elephants and how they get their calcium. So elephants get a lot of their nutrients and minerals that they need through the soil, as well as the cambium layer of the trees that they feed on. So the inner layer of the bark, which is what elephants look for, that nice soft cambium layer, does contain a lot of calcium in some cases. That does help to substitute elephants' diet. See, this boy is obviously used his tusks quite a lot. This left hand tusk of his is not very useful. He's broken it off while probably feeding. Still got some female impala around, and the male impala has decided he's going to take a bit of a break with the water buck in the grass and just lie and enjoy a nice sunny Friday afternoon. Alright folks, why don't we head across to some giraffe over at Nkoro. We have a male giraffe here, blending in very well to his surroundings. It's incredible how these giraffe blend in so well to their surroundings. If you didn't know there's a giraffe there, it'd be very difficult to spot him. So it's this big male giraffe, nice dark colors. And if he doesn't give us much of a good view, then we'll head across to Founders. I think let's head across to Founders. There's some giraffe. We might get a bit of a better sighting there. This male giraffe is hiding himself from us. Sorry folks, I think we're struggling to head across to Founders, and our male giraffe just... Oh, is it a male giraffe or a female giraffe? Let's have look at these ossicones. So our giraffe decided to, yeah, come out into the open. So I do find it quite interesting. So it is a female giraffe. She's quite dark in color, and yeah, I do find it's perfect sighting here of the back of the ears of a giraffe. So you can see from quite a distance these white ears at the back are visible to other giraffe in an area. So obviously giraffe, very tall creatures, and they can see each other from quite a distance. They've got very good eyesight, and these white patches on the back of the ears make it very easy to see one another from a distance. So again, lots of giraffe regurgitating. Maybe the giraffe are just taking it easy this afternoon, ruminating as they rest in the shade of trees, just yeah, taking in the afternoon, preparing for the weekend. Can't believe it is Friday already, heading into the weekend tomorrow, and yeah, see what the weekend brings. Giraffe is very curious. So again, giraffe are very nomadic individuals. They can be solitary or in groups. Normally females will be in groups, but they won't remain in their same natal group for their entire life. So they do move around quite a lot and join up with other groups and move in this area and that area. Hope you can hear the ox pickers calling. So Karen Sachs, thank you for your comment. I'm really glad that you're enjoying the show with us just as much as I'm enjoying it right now. For me, it's just such a pleasure to be able to sit in the comfort of your home and watch all this incredible wildlife unfolding right in front of our eyes. Very special sighting here of this female giraffe. So again, once she's in the shade there, you can barely see her. She's almost unrecognizable. Just a bit of white here and there. So yeah, these males can be solitary, but again, males will join the female groups. If a male can smell that there's a female in estrus, then he will join up with the female group, follow the females. So the females will normally be in estrus for a few days, up to a week, and in this time, any males in the area will smell this her very delightful smell that she'll be producing, which attracts all the males, but the female giraffe will only let the biggest and strongest of all the males in the area come and mate with her. So other young bulls will have to, they'll be persistently following her, and she has to wait for the biggest and strongest male to come along, because she is only interested in the best possible genes to procreate with. So Karen, yes, these oxpeckers, so probably yellow-billed oxpeckers that are grooming this female giraffe, helping to rid her of any ticks or parasites, clean her skin, clean her fur, give her a bit of a free cleaning service. But like over in Oldonyo in Kenya, oh, they can be quite a nuisance. Shame. There seems to be a very healthy population of oxpeckers in Oldonyo. Because every time those giraffe bend down to drink some water, shame, the oxpeckers are in their ears, in their mouths, in their nose, everywhere. So they really struggle to feed there, to have a drink. Always being harassed by these little oxpeckers. So again, they can be a help or a hindrance, these little birds. They can be parasitic and keep wounds open. I've seen the oxpeckers ripping at a buffalo's ears. Oh, shame, it was awful. This buffalo's ears were all tattered and torn, and the oxpeckers were just feeding on the blood coming out of the ears of the buffalo. But also can be good because for some very nasty injuries, these oxpeckers will keep it open, so to avoid any necrotic tissue or rotting tissue. So they can be good, but then they can also be a bit of a nuisance because it's difficult for those injuries to seal and close up if the oxpeckers are constantly picking away at these injuries. So yeah.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Rennis is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart. Wild Earth has launched a special fundraising drive for our non-profit, the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. We're raising funds to source, create, and showcase thousands of untold stories. Stories that spark real action in conservation and social impact. Visit our website to donate and explore how you can become a founding donor.
My name is Takuzwa Panda Msesani. I really want to film an art fork, and it has been my goal. I'll be just keeping my eyes open. The worst driver is Jem. Is driving, yeah. You gotta be holding on back in there, yeah? Like in bumps, and I mean, it happens when these things happens when you're actually going for animals usually. But then, yeah, he's driving, yeah. You gotta put your seatbelt.
These fights can get quite vicious, although this young bull, I don't know what is happening here. These bulls don't seem to know where this program goes, or maybe it's not quite an aggressive fight, because normally they thrash their heads hitting each other on the rump. So yeah, they're all trying to hook a leg. You can hook the leg of your opponent in the giraffe world. That is gonna definitely put you on an advantage. Get the other male down on the ground, that can end up leading into submission. These males don't seem too well coordinated today, hey? So from these male giraffe thrashing at each other like this can cause quite serious injuries and also protrusions, very large. Oh, we have a rhino here, folks. Hello. Coming to join us. What a lovely sighting. Surprise, surprise. What a cool sighting. A rhino came to join us as our giraffe decided to start necking. So Tammy, yes, this is a busy sighting. It has been quite a busy day here in the Eastern Cape over at Founders Lodge. Oh, some Egyptian geese coming in. We've had giraffe, we've had warthogs wallowing, now we have a rhino, we had some baboons coming down. So let's just have a listen as our rhino looks like it's about to have a mud bath. So Karen has asked a question about how far is PE from Founders Lodge. So Founders Lodge is actually from PE to get to Founders Lodge. It's north, so directly north of PE, and it's only about 80 kilometers. So just over an hour's drive to get from Port Elizabeth to Founders Lodge. Very similar habitat, open grassland. I'm sure climate is very similar as well. Yeah, come on boys, I'm hoping that this fight of theirs will escalate a bit, get a bit more exciting. These boys don't seem very serious about their attempts at fighting with one another. So I think our rhino is probably going to be taking a mud wallow just off to the left there, and really cool to watch these giraffes. So we'll have a bit of a quiet moment while we just appreciate this incredible sighting.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. We'll be
And you pretend like you're a salesman, eh?
Got no idea what's going on this reserve.
Expecting the unexpected.
Are we stuck down there?
What am I trying to do?
Because we have another giant of Mabula. That was incredible.
This is unbelievable.
It's going to be a spectacular afternoon.
Join the Wild Earth Explorers program and connect with a community passionate about wildlife. Support our mission to share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Your monthly contribution helps provide schools and children access to kids' safaris, fostering a love for nature in the next generation. Embrace the wonders of the bush and make a difference today. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Shots. So I think that might take a bit of time for these guys to warm up, but they definitely look like they mean serious business. check at them go. Oh, and we've got a little Cape wagtail coming to join the festivity. I do love these little wagtails. They're very happy little birds. Seem to be forever moving as they bob their tail up and down. Recent awesome bird lifer for me was seeing the mountain wagtail, which I saw in Machuba's Cliff on a hiking trail in the middle of the jungle, or in the middle of the forest, should I say, along a little stream. They had their chicks that were nesting in this river in a crevice in the rocks in a bit of a cave. Mountain wagtail, recent awesome bird lifer for me. Sorry folks, I think we had a bit of difficulty with our camera there at Founder's Lodge, but we found some more giraffe. Shucks, today seems to be the day of the tall beasts. I know Amy had some awesome sightings this morning of giraffe, and we've had a giraffe at many of our locations today, so lovely to see so many giraffe all out and about. So again, giraffe don't have one specific breeding season, although there are peak periods where you find a lot more giraffe will be mating, but they can give birth throughout the year. Same as elephants. Elephants sometimes give birth in the green season, but I saw last year in Zimbabwe a lot of elephants were giving birth just before the rains arrived, which is not ideal, because now to look after these little ones and walk very far distances for food and water means the babies have to keep up with the herd, otherwise they'll be left behind. So yeah, different areas do have different peak periods where they might breed and give birth, and some mammals will have set periods, like now for impala, so most antelope species as well as warthogs. So it's a bigger mammals that can vary, but most smaller game will have a set breeding period, so that's why the rutting season for impala is happening at the moment. The male impala will start losing their marbles a little bit, running around making very strange sounds, chasing the females in order to get mating rights. Alright, so I think we've got Founder's Lodge. Our feed seems to be a bit more stable, so why don't we head back to Founder's Lodge to see what's happening with our fighting male giraffe. Alright, so hopefully our feed will be stable enough to stay here. Sorry we had to link away just earlier. So again, these males will spend hours fighting like this, all waiting for one of the individuals to stand down. Sometimes you get surprised with young bulls that end up defeating bigger bulls, but you can see this bull is very experienced, and the more they fight, the more prominent their skulls get, with these very large calloused bony protrusions on their head, which makes them more formidable. And then their necks will also swell in order to make them bigger and stronger too, with all the impact. So a lot of this impact can form big necks in the male giraffe. Well, it's quite a big size difference here between these two bulls. Whoop. Check at them go! So sometimes you can actually hear the impact of their heads on the thighs. What a lovely sighting. How incredible. To be able to watch these two male giraffes fight it out for the females. Trying to listen to hear if I can hear our rhino close by, see if he's still around. And we had a zebra here yesterday afternoon giving himself a good scratch on this rock, also close to the right hand side. So Sally is asking a question about, do males neck throughout the year for females? And yes, Sally, I have seen giraffe necking throughout the year, but it all depends on different areas and when the different peak breeding seasons are and when females are in estrus or cycling. Alrighty folks, well, it has been a pleasure being with you here live at the Waterhole. I won't be with you for quite some time, but I'll be leaving shortly to head to a new location. So don't forget to tune into the Sunset Safari coming up next from me and the rest of the Wild Earth team. I just want to wish you a lovely weekend. I hope you have a fabulous Friday afternoon. And yeah, hopefully I will be seeing you all soon. Have a lovely day, folks. And yeah, keep safe this weekend. Keep safe and keep warm. Cheers, cheers.